Today we're taking a look at the Ioniq 5 XRT. This is a pumped up version of Hyundai's excellent all-electric crossover that can go places and do things you might not think an EV ever could. But for starters, we're going to see how well the XRT here handles these freezing, icy conditions right here in Michigan. I've got my long johns on, and I hope you do too. In fact, I might go put another pair on. For help finding your next ride, check out the GreenCars Buyer's Guide. This easy-to-use tool lets you quickly compare a range of efficient vehicles to find the model that's right for you. To learn more, head on over to greencars.com. The future of driving starts here. So, the standard Hyundai Ioniq 5 is one of the best mainstream electric vehicles you can buy today. Not only is this SUV spacious and stylish, it offers excellent all-electric range, stellar DC fast-charging performance, and, of course, plenty of advanced technology. As for the XRT trim, think of it as a ruggedized, trail-ready version of the Ioniq 5. With a few tweaks here and there, this model not only looks tough, it also provides noticeably enhanced off-road capability for folks that want to venture beyond the drive-through line or grocery store parking lot. Motorists with places to see and people to go. I mean, places to go and people to see. Something like that. And as you can see, the XRT here wears the same angular, almost sort of 1980s inspired styling as the conventional Ioniq 5, though there are a few important differences, including the front and rear fascias, which are unique to this model. Plus, there's a so-called digital camo pattern, this sort of pixelated texture on some of the trim. We've also got these meaty recovery hooks, which are great for pulling the vehicle out if you ever do get stuck when you're on the trail. Super handy to have. Beyond all of that, the window surrounds, mirror caps, sill trim, and Hyundai badges are all black. Plus, this vehicle rolls on unique and very stylish 18-inch wheels that are also blacked out. Now, beyond all of that, the Ioniq 5 XRT is much more than just a pretty face. This vehicle benefits from a host of mechanical enhancements, which I'll tell you about right now. For starters, those rims are wrapped in upgraded all-terrain tires for significantly enhanced grip in difficult conditions. The suspension has been lifted by nearly an inch, a change that increased the vehicle's ground clearance to a healthy 7 inches. And this has also helped improve the approach and departure angles, so you're less likely to scrape the vehicle's chin or drag its butt when off-roading. And finally, the XRT also comes with 3 driver-selectable terrain modes that tailor the vehicle's responses to varying conditions. There's snow, which is ideal for wintry weather like we're contending with today. Mud is designed for sloppy conditions. And lastly, there's a sand mode, which, you guessed it, is ideal if a pickup truck full of pecan sandies ever overturns on the highway. You will be ready. And those Hyundai engineers really thought of everything. What's that? Sand? Like on the beach or desert? Nobody's gonna drive on that. Before getting to the Ioniq 5's interior, let's briefly talk about a few important specifications and see how the XRT stacks up against 2 of its primary competitors, the similarly rugged Ford Mustang Mach-E Rally and upcoming Toyota BZ Woodland. So the most important spec with any EV is the range. How far you can drive on a charge, and this Hyundai does not disappoint. According to the US EPA, the XRT is rated at 259 miles, which isn't too far behind what the longest range Ioniq 5 will do, an estimated 318. In comparison, the Rally should be good for 265 miles, while Toyota estimates the BZ Woodland will do 260 on a charge, figures that are, honestly, all within spitting distance of each other. According to AAA, frigid temperatures can reduce electric vehicle range by anywhere between 20 and 40%, something to keep in mind while driving in the winter. Surprisingly though, despite the chilly conditions, an average of 21.3 degrees Fahrenheit during our week of testing, when fully charged, this Hyundai's estimated range has not dropped much at all, nowhere near those estimates, meaning the Ioniq 5's advanced battery pack shrugs off the cold quite well. But one area where this Hyundai really pulls ahead of those competitors is in DC fast charging performance. This vehicle's advanced battery pack should be able to take in energy at a maximum rate of roughly 250 kilowatts, a fantastic showing. The Ford and Toyota, they only top out at around 150. This means the Ioniq 5 XRT, which has a standard NACS charging port and can juice up at easy-to-find Tesla superchargers, can go from a 10% state of charge to 80% in a speedy 20 minutes, compared to around 30 for the BZ and roughly 41 for the Mustang. But there is a caveat, and it's frankly a bit ironic. You have to juice up at non-Tesla DC fast chargers to enjoy this Hyundai's maximum energy absorption rate, because the current generation supercharger that's widely in service doesn't put out enough power. The new V4 model, however, will charge vehicles at 350 plus kilowatts, though these are basically not available in the market right now. So in short, if you charge your Ioniq 5 at a Tesla supercharger, expect it to take around 30 minutes to go from 10 to 80%. Otherwise, you can turn to the likes of Electrify America or EVgo to achieve the fastest charging speeds. Next up, let's take a moment to talk about the Ioniq 5 XRT's interior, which is fortunately toasty warm, because I don't know if you've noticed, but it is cold enough out there to freeze the paws off a polar bear. And a fantastic feature to have, especially in the wintertime, is that this Hyundai allows you to schedule your departure time. So let's say you leave for work 5 days a week every morning at 7:30. Well, the Hyundai here can have its HVAC system set at a comfortable 72 degrees, so when your cheeks hit the seat, you're ready to go and you are comfortable. And it can do that while drawing power from the charger, so it's warming or cooling the cabin without drawing energy from the battery pack and reducing your range. And just like a lot of other EVs, this Hyundai offers something called battery preconditioning that, depending on weather conditions, warms or cools the battery pack up so it can absorb energy at the quickest rate possible. And you can do this in one of two ways. You can engage it manually right from the infotainment screen, or if you set a DC fast charger as a destination in your navigation system, the vehicle should start preconditioning automatically. But back to the finer points of this cabin for just a second. This interior is highly functional and beautifully designed. The materials used are excellent for this class of vehicle, and the build quality, I'll tell you, everything is rock solid. The XRT comes standard with a long list of great features and amenities, including a tilt and telescopic steering column with a heated wheel. You get an 8-speaker Bose audio system and even heated 8-way power adjustable front seats. These chairs are not, however, ventilated on the XRT trim. When it comes to technology, you can see we have a pair of beautiful displays on the dashboard, each one clocking in at 12.3 inches. You also get a wireless charging pad for your phone, a phalanx of USB ports, and even wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Despite the XRT's capability, this is still a supremely comfortable vehicle. Now, these front buckets are not the cushiest that I've ever sat in. I do find the backrest just a little bit lumpy, but they're still extremely comfortable and for many hours at a stretch. As for the back seat, it's split 60-40. It slides, the backrests adjust as well, and get this, there's plenty of head and leg room for 6-foot-tall passengers, which is always a good thing. The Ioniq 5 also has loads of cargo space, more than 26 cubic feet with that backrest up, and nearly 59 with everything folded down. In other words, plenty of room for play dates and carpooling, picking up relatives at the airport, and even trekking to your favorite big box membership warehouse to buy irresponsible amounts of pecan sandies. There's even a small front trunk under the hood that clocks in at 0.85 cubes, enough for carrying the standard charging cable and not much else. So don't expect to put a stroller in there or even your Chinese takeout. Now, we'll hit the road here in just a second, but I briefly want to talk about advanced driver assistance technologies. And the Ioniq 5 XRT here comes with a laundry list of wonderful amenities, things like a crisp and clear 360-degree camera system. There's rear cross-traffic alert, which can help prevent you from reversing into oncoming vehicles. There's front and rear parking sensors. You get automatic high beams, adaptive cruise control with lane centering, which works extremely well. And there's even a blind spot view monitor, which sends a video feed from each side of the vehicle right to the instrument cluster whenever the turn signal is activated, which can be surprisingly helpful for keeping tabs on other traffic that's in your blind spot. Now, the first thing you may notice while driving this all-electric Hyundai is just how quiet it is, especially if you're not familiar with EVs. There's basically no wind or road noise, plus the powertrain, it's essentially silent. The next thing you'll probably notice is the incredible performance. The Ioniq 5 is graced with a stout 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque, which is enough to get this vehicle from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 4.5 seconds. And indeed, the XRT surges forward effortlessly when you hit the accelerator pedal. This vehicle really has all the performance you could ever need. And when it's time to slow down, the brake pedal in this car feels very firm and reassuring. Plus, Hyundai offers a range of settings for regeneration, so that controls how aggressively the vehicle slows down when you lift your foot off the accelerator. Now, my preferred setting is actually called I-pedal, which is Hyundai's name for a one-pedal driving mode. So when you do take your foot off the accelerator, the vehicle slows down quite aggressively, and it will even roll itself right to a stop just like that. And for most driving situations, that's actually my preference, but I do know some folks don't really care for that. But the good news is it's super easy to adjust using these paddles right here on the steering wheel. What's really surprised me about this XRT, however, is the smooth ride quality, especially on pavement, and it may actually be better than in other Ioniq 5s. The body is well controlled over gnarly bumps, potholes, and other rough surfaces, plus there's minimal rockin' and rollin' in corners. I thought those aggressive all-terrain tires would feel harsh and make a lot of noise, but honestly, they're fantastic. With relatively small 18-inch wheels, the extra tire sidewall really helps eat up roadway harshness, and let this be a lesson, not everything needs 24-inch wheels. More than anything, though, the XRT here was designed for light-duty off-roading. Now, you wouldn't want to try and climb a sheer rock face or ford a raging river in this vehicle. It wasn't designed for that. But if you live in a mountainous area or a region that regularly gets nasty winter weather, this could be the EV for you. It'll take you a lot farther than you might expect. Not surprisingly, this Hyundai has had zero issues handling the snow and ice we've had in Michigan this week. Those all-terrain tires provide plenty of grip. The added ground clearance means you're much less likely to scrape this vehicle's belly on big chunks of snow or ice that may have fallen off of another car or truck. Plus, this thing feels extremely planted, even on bomb-cratered dirt roads. It's pretty impressive. Alrighty, now let's recap the Hyundai Ioniq 5 XRT's strengths and weaknesses. So, what are the advantages of this vehicle? Well, its DC fast charging performance is superb. The enhanced off-road capability is great too. I love the Ioniq 5's roomy and handsome interior. This crossover's refinement is seriously impressive. And Hyundai's tech, from the infotainment system to the driver aids, is excellent. As for downsides, there really aren't that many. I like this vehicle's looks, but not everyone will love the 1980s-inspired styling. 300 miles of range sure would be nice on a full charge, and so would ventilated front seats in the summer, which are not offered on the XRT trim. Pricing is another potential downside, but with a huge asterisk. Our 2025 Ioniq 5 XRT here checks out for just about $58,000. That includes $210 for carpeted floor mats, $1,000 for the matte white paint job, and $1,475 in destination fees. Now, 58 grand, it's a lot of money for a lot of people, but for 2026, Hyundai has actually significantly reduced the price of the Ioniq 5. In fact, the XRT trim is now $9,225 more affordable than before, which is a huge difference. In fact, you can get this exact model for just about 48 grand, which is a much more attractive price. Though, be aware, they did increase the destination fees to $1,600. So overall, I do think most drivers are probably better off getting a conventional Ioniq 5 over the XRT here, but this thing still does offer a lot of additional capability with very few trade-offs. And if you're looking for more go-anywhere capability, GreenCars' own Trish Gloss recently tested the all-electric Mercedes-Benz G-Class, so make sure you click the link on screen right now to check that video out next.